Have you ever abandoned your own dream because it didn't look perfect? Have you ever written something, drawn something, started something, and then thrown it away, thinking it's not good enough yet? If you've ever felt trapped in this cycle, you are not alone. Today, I want to share a modern Indian parable about an artist, his unfinished paintings, and a truth that might change the way you approach your life. In a quiet town of India, there lived a painter. Every morning, he stood before a canvas filled with hope. His brush danced across the surface, pouring out colors, emotions, dreams. But then, something would catch his eye. A line too sharp, a shade slightly off, a detail not as perfect as he imagined. And in that moment, all his passion disappeared. He would whisper, "Not good enough, not perfect." Then, in frustration, he would rip the canvas apart and toss it to the floor. This became his daily ritual. Day after day, his small studio filled with scraps of torn paintings. Not masterpieces, only fragments. Not art, only pieces of broken dreams. One evening, his friend visited and was stunned by what he saw. Dozens of canvases lying in ruins. He asked, "Why do you destroy them? These are beautiful." The painter shook his head. "No, they are not perfect. And if they are not perfect, they do not deserve to exist." The friend looked at him quietly, then said words that carried the weight of truth. "My friend, sometimes the most beautiful art is not the perfect one, but the one that dares to be completed. And isn't this painter just like us? How many times have you had an idea but kept it hidden? How many times have you stopped halfway, telling yourself, 'Not yet. Not good enough. I'll wait until it's perfect.' But here's the truth. That perfect moment never comes. And while we wait, life moves on. Opportunities pass, dreams fade. Psychologists call this perfection paralysis. When we set impossible standards, our brain freezes. The fear of failing, of being judged, becomes stronger than the courage to try. And so we stop. But perfection is never the beginning. It is the end result of many imperfect attempts. Greatness is born from iteration, from mistakes, corrections, and persistence. Think of the great Indian temples, Ellora, Khajuraho, Konark. The sculptures carved into stone were not created in a single flawless strike. They were shaped by thousands of imperfect blows of a chisel. Each strike, whether right or wrong, carried the artisan closer to the masterpiece. If those sculptors had waited for the perfect first strike, India would have been left with empty stones instead of timeless temples. So why do we demand from ourselves what even the greatest creators never demanded from their art? Maybe you are a student, endlessly rewriting your essay, never submitting it. Maybe you are an entrepreneur, waiting for the perfect business plan before launching. Maybe you are a singer, a writer, a creator, holding your work back from the world, waiting for it to be flawless. But remember, an unfinished essay will never teach. An unlaunched business will never grow. An unsung song will never touch a heart. The world does not need you to be perfect. The world just needs you to show up. Progress is life. Perfection is often just fear, dressed in beautiful clothes. The next morning, the painter sat in his studio, surrounded by scraps. For the first time, he really looked. Even in those torn pieces, he saw beauty. A brushstroke alive with energy, a color glowing with emotion. He remembered his friend's words. The most beautiful art is not the perfect one, but the one that dares to be completed. So, for the very first time, he did something new. He took a painting, not flawless, not finished the way he dreamed, but real. And instead of destroying it, he framed it. He hung it on his wall. When visitors came, something magical happened. They didn't laugh at the uneven lines. They didn't mock the imperfect shades. Instead, they were drawn to it. They felt the spirit behind it. They saw not perfection, but truth. The painter stood silently as people admired what he had almost destroyed. Tears welled up in his eyes. He realized then his prison was never the brush or the canvas. It was his obsession with perfection. And so, dear friends, the lesson is simple but profound. Life doesn't ask us to be perfect. Life only asks us to be present. An imperfect painting on the wall has more value than 1,000 perfect ones hidden in the dark. An imperfect idea acted upon has more power than the perfect dream you never begin. Progress will always outweigh perfection, because progress means movement, growth, life. Perfection often means stillness, fear, paralysis. So, the next time you feel the urge to tear apart your own painting, whether it is a project, a poem, a business plan, or even a small conversation you want to have, pause. Ask yourself, is this truly non-worthy? Or am I just afraid it isn't perfect? Be brave enough to finish it. Because sometimes what you call imperfect might be the very thing the world is waiting for. Let me leave you with this thought. Life does not wait for perfection. Life only waits for you to begin. If this story touched you, share it with a friend who is stuck chasing perfection. And if you believe in stories that plant seeds of change, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss the next spark of wisdom.